Your petals may fall, you may will.
Welcome back, all you gorgeous garden gnomes. I hope that you are having a great start to March. It has been exceptionally warm, though today it's kind of overcast out. And well, there's something that I have been wanting to do for a very long time. It's an event that goes on weekends typically, and they're events for gardeners to gather together and trade seeds or sell seeds before the gardening season really kicks off. Unfortunately, my weekends have always tended to be very busy, so I thought there has to be other garden gnomes out there just like me who want to make it out to these Seedy Saturdays and Seedy Sundays, but just don't have the time on the weekends. So I thought I would bring the Seedy Days right to your home. So every Sunday you can come back to this channel and we will plant seeds together. Today's episode is going to be all about alliums. I am going to try to grow the best onions this year. Last year we had a pretty good harvest of onions, even though we didn't set them up for the best success. To start things off, we are going to be potting some garlic bulbils. So these two varieties of garlic bulbils were from Moonglow Gardens. Make sure I put those ones right side up for you guys to read. They are a German red and a Mennonite. So rather than planting the cloves of garlic, hardneck garlic varieties will send up a flower stalk that sets bulbils instead of flowering and producing seeds. They have these little clones of the garlic plant on the top of them. So they take a little bit longer to grow to full maturity, a couple of years before you will get an actual bulb harvest from them. But they are slightly more affordable than paying upwards of $20 for a single bulb of garlic cloves at a garden center where you might only get 5 or 6 cloves. This one we have, I believe, 36 bulbils in here, so in a couple years that will be 36 garlic plants. So I have these 2-inch, I believe they are 2-inch pots from, so I purchased these through Indoor Farmer. The company that makes them is called Bootstrap Farmer, and they are a reusable pot. They are a harder plastic than the typical nursery pots that you'll get from a garden center. These will last years and years. Not sponsored. Maybe they'll come along soon. But either way, I filled them up with just a generic potting mix, and I'm going to take the back of my marker and I'm going to make little dibbles in the soil to plant into. Now you might hear some little paw prints walking around the camera. Those are our puppies, Mac and Butterscotch. You might get to hear them and you might get to see them in this video. Okay. Before my hands get too dirty, I am going to write the label for these. These are the German red. So this soil was pre-moistened, and that's really all that you have to do to prep it for planting. We're just going to put one bulb into each. So they do have a top and a bottom. The top is going to be kind of pointed and have a soft skin on the top. So it would be similar to a garlic clove, and then the bottom of the bulb is a little bit sharper and harder, and that's where the roots are going to come out of. So the green is going to come out of the top, obviously, and so we want to make sure that we put the rooting end down into the pot. So now that they're all into the pots, just going to use my finger to bury them in. I'm going to take some water and bottom water. And a couple of these pots were a little bit dry, so I'm going to take this pump spray bottle and just spray the top of them. The soil will work like a sponge and suck the water up from the bottom, so ideally it is best to bottom water, and it helps to keep the mold and algae from growing out of control on the top of the soil. But in a pinch, you can water on the top. And then last, because I am trying to be more organized and remember what I have planted and where I have planted it, don't forget the labels. There. Perfect. So that's one of the alliums done. Last year was the first year that we grew leeks at home, and we had a fairly good growth of leeks until the hailstorm came and wiped out a lot of them. So this year, hopefully, we'll have better luck. We won't have any hailstorms or other inclement weather events, and these leeks will do really well. 3 varieties of leeks that we're going to start. We have Chinook, which are a hybrid and take roughly 65 days to harvest. And then we have a Lancia, which is an open pollinated variety, and it takes 90 days to harvest. And finally, we have Bandit, which is our longest days to maturity at 135 days. It is also an open pollinated variety. So to start all of our allium seeds, it's going to be the same process. We have these 6-cell trays. They're not quite filled all the way to the top with soil. I also haven't pre-moistened the soil. So what I'm going to do is just put a whole bunch of seeds into each cell, and then I'll cover it over with some more soil and water them in. Not quite enough to do one full tray there. So good thing I am a hoarder of seeds and ordered multiple packs. Just like with onions, you can grow leeks in clusters at the start, and their roots are fairly fine, and when you pull out the whole plug, you can just pull the plants apart and the roots will come with them. They'll detangle themselves. All right. And I'm going to remember which ones are which. So these are the Chinook. Bandits will be here. Lancia. Up next, and in no particular order, are onions. Kind of the star of this Seedy Sunday. We have a good variety of 6 different types of onions. There are some storage onions, some shallots, some red onions, and one that I am really looking forward to and hoping to grow a massive onion. Now, the first up is Boratana. I hope that I'm pronouncing that right. I really have no clue. Right now, kind of late winter, I think is the best time to start your onions. This way they won't get too big inside your house before you have to plant them out. But it gives them enough of a head start to develop nice sized bulbs. Pinch of seed in each cell. These Boratana are also, probably pronounced it differently that time, these ones are also an open pollinated variety, and onions are a biennial plant, so they will produce flowers their second year of growing, which will produce seeds that you can then harvest from and grow more onions. excess seeds just go back into the package. And we'll put the tag with that one. Next up is another storage crop, but it is a red onion. It is Rosa Diverno Rubino. Again, don't come for me for my pronunciations of any of these. I am trying my best. These ones we did grow last year and they did really well for us. So, of course, we're going to include them in our garden this year. This is the onion that I think I am most excited for. It is a sweet onion called Kelsey, and it is said to have the world record for the largest onion at over 15 pounds. So if we can grow a 15 pound, what is that, like a basketball size onion, I would be awfully impressed. These are an open pollinated variety. And they take about 110 days to mature. Another red onion and a storage onion that we grew last year were these Red Wings. We really like these ones. These ones are a hybrid, also taking 110 days to mature. They are one of the best red onions for storage. If all goes to plan, these will produce onion bulbs that are about 7 to 10 centimeters across. So we have 2 more varieties, and that means we're going to have some extra cells that I can fill in with something else. So the next 2 are both shallots. The first is called Ambition, and the second is called Conserver. So the Conserver is said to be, obviously it's in the name, a good storage shallot. They also say that this shallot conserver can be stored right throughout winter and even into spring. So we'll hopefully get to test that out this year. It is also a hybrid variety, and Ambition is a globe-shaped French shallot. So I think that I'm going to do an extra tray of the Rosa Diverno and the Kelsey onions. And then I'll get to pick another one. I don't know which one I will do, but we will see which one I do. Okay, so we're going to do the red wing, and then we're going to do Kelsey and Rosa d'Inverno Rubino. So next, we will need to cover them up with soil and then water in. And to do this, just grab a handful of your potting mix and gently cover up the seeds. You can firm them down so that when you top water them the first time, the seeds don't get washed away. And we'll start them off with just a light top watering. You could pre-soak the soil if that is something that you wanted to do. Once the surface is fairly moistened though, then I will fill up the bottom of the tray about a quarter of the way with water. That'll help to moisten the rest of the soil, and it will help to kickstart that wicking action. The last thing to do is to put a humidity dome over top of the seeds. That will just help to hold in that moisture so we don't have to water as often. And then we'll put these on our grow shelf until they sprout, and then we'll take the humidity dome off. There. So thank you for joining me on this first virtual Seedy Sunday. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you got to start some seeds along with me. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video, and if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out, and we are growing quite well already. So I would like to keep that momentum up, and your support of the channel helps to support our Kawartha Backyard Farms Food Security Initiative, where we're helping people to grow their own food at home completely for free. So the support that you provide on this channel goes directly back into our community. Hope that you had a great day, and I hope that you have a great day ahead, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Don't matter if you don't know. He'll push through all of your lows. Your petals may fall,